Hi, I'm Manny, and I'm actually pretty excited because soon I'm going to get a micro USB micro SD card that I ordered. I'm gonna get in the mail, and I'll be able to, well, theoretically, because the best laid plans of mice and men, etc. Gonna get that in the mail supposedly tomorrow. Although considering the tracking information, I really don't think it's gonna be tomorrow, and I'll theoretically be able to move my files between my tablet and my computer, so I'll be able to work on my files more often because I'm trying to sort of establish for myself a habit of being more productive around the house. And it's not to say that I don't clean or like do things, I just don't do them as often or as consistently as I should. So I'm hoping that having the tablet will allow me to not be in my room as much and be like, I'm drawing in the family room or maybe in the yard with the dogs, and I'll be thinking, you know what, this grass needs to be cut, and I'll actually cut the grass because I don't know, like as I get older, the kind of effort and the pace that I used to have when it comes to being productive around the house just doesn't cut it anymore. And my parents are gonna need me to like cooperate a bit more because they're getting geriatric. They're getting there. And I do wanna, like, this isn't I'm being forced, right? This is like me wanting to, like, I've been working out a lot, so I have more strength to help around the house and still have the energy to do the things I like to do, because it's not so much a matter of motivation, it's just a matter of being physically capable of doing it. Because it's a lot to ask of someone, and I'm not just talking about me, to basically use up 80% of their energy, come home, and then use 50% more somehow to like do a bunch of other shit that you're not even in the proper physical shape to do. So I'm trying to do that, but my diet hasn't really improved all that much. But I'm still trying, like it's only really over when you stop trying. So I'm gonna keep banging my head against that particular wall. Uh Speaking of banging your head against the wall, I'm drawing the background element for this piece, which is going to be like a frame made out of like thorn vines with some flowers, and then have some flowers in the background, but kind of faded out so that you it doesn't get in the way of like the visual importance of the main figure. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna take me a damn good while because it took me so long to just establish the shape of the vines as the frame, and now I'm like putting in like thorns, like I'm just putting in thorns randomly, and I'm going to be putting in thorns for a long time. And that's why I think the micro SD card's going to come in real handy, because I'm going to be able to take this piece on the go, not necessarily outside of my house, but outside of my room, and I can just keep adding all the details and doing stuff to it. And I also have a vague idea of how I'm going to try, keyword try, to color this piece, which there is an artist on Blue Sky I follow who does this style where they mostly use flat colors, but they use tons and tons of strokes as a sort of graphic way of, quote unquote, mixing colors, even though they're not really mixed because it's like hard color strokes. And I want to try that with this piece and then just layer the pencil shading on top of it and then see how I can make that look like nice and colorful. I guess more than anything, what I'm trying to do is to keep the amount of brushes I need for this style as low as possible, because if I ever have to move software or if I ever have to reinstall my software, I don't want it to be like, well, now I need to completely remake my style because I've lost all of these tools I depended on. Like, I just want the pencil brush, um and maybe like one, maybe two brushes for coloring, and that's it. And I want them to be simple brushes so that they're a lot easier to recreate in other software if I wanted to move to like Krita or God forbid Photoshop or something. So yeah, I'm basically shopping, doing a little shopping around the internet to find a coloring style that works with what I've already got going on with the penciling. And it's not gonna be oh yeah, I invented this coloring style and it's like a rip off of one artist. You don't do that. If you want to quote unquote steal like a pro, then what you want to do is you want to steal little things from tons of different places and then put them all together, and then it creates kind of like a new thing, or at least a more unique thing that is actually you. Because if you literally just do exactly what another artist does, then that just, you're opening you're opening up your chest, you're revealing your big red glowing weak spot, and you're saying please don't shoot here, and the internet is going to aim right there. I can understand the appeal of just having somebody else figure out all the hard bits of your style for you, but it's more trouble than it's worth. And ultimately, if you have any sort of soul, it's going to leave you feeling hollow. And if you don't have a soul, it's probably going to lead to you getting in trouble because the internet is like a marvel in the sense that it emboldens people to look into, track, and figure out the most obscure, tiniest things. Like, people on the internet are incredible because they will take the tiniest little details and figure out who, what, when, where, why based on like information and stuff, or even come up with theories. Like, this was plagiarism because of this, and here are the facts that lead to this conclusion. And it's like, it's actually kind of amazing, but it's also a little bit scary because you don't really know if the person's being entirely honest, and you don't want misinformation to get a bigger platform than it already has. It reminds me of this paranoid belief that I have, that I know it's probably not true, but it still kind of gets me sometimes, of the internet knows something about me that I'm not aware of. And that's the reason why people quote unquote avoid my socials or just don't comment on my art at all. It's like, oh, they have this theory about me like doing horrible things or whatever, and that's the reason why nobody engages with my social media, which is such a horrible paranoid thing, right? Like, it's something that logically isn't true and couldn't possibly be true, but if you're insecure enough, I guess stuff like that starts to feel real despite everything in reality pointing to the opposite. But thankfully it hasn't gotten so far as to become an actual delusion. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just a load of insecure bullshit. But anyway, that's all the yapping I've got for today. Thanks for listening. I hope you're having a great day, and maybe I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.